listening to Late Night Love Talk Radio, where I help all you incels find love. Love. In another dimension. Love. By the way, so I have to mention this because my comment the other day got a lot of views. When you never know what's going to get views. It's so weird. Like the things you think are not going to get any views get all these views, and then these other ones get nothing. But so I mentioned time for orthodoxy. That's all it said on Pope Leo blessing the block of ice at the Vatican climate change event. Now, apparently, we still have a lot of dum-dums who don't know that this is a scam, and it's connected to Malthusianism, and it's connected to the idea of the first global revolution in the Club of Rome. I'm not calling Father Honeycutt a dum-dum. I'm talking about the Roman Catholics in the chat that were defending it. I responded to Father Honeycutt by pointing out, here's why I said this about this idea of climate change. So a lot of people still don't understand that this is a fraud. It's connected to the older model of back in the 70s and 80s, it was 60s and 70s was acid rain. Then it became the hole in the ozone layer. Then it became global warming, and then it got rebranded to climate change. And I've lived through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s versions of this. So we have not been cooked by the quote hole in the ozone layer, even though Tom Coon was telling me back in the 1980s and 90s that the hole in the ozone layer was going to kill us all by now. So it's an ongoing Malthusian fraud. They even said at one point it would be a new ice age, right? You remember Paul Ehrlich, Leonard Nimoy. They did videos, they did talks back in the 70s and 80s talking about how we're going to enter into a new ice age. We're all going to be underwater. It's a giant scam. And I've been watching it for decades. So if you go back to the Club of Rome, many decades ago, they produced this book called The First Global Revolution, a report by the Council of the Club of Rome. This is a very important European Malthusian think tank. Maurice Strong was one of the key members of this think tank, a mega Rockefeller Foundation Malthusian. And here's the book right here. It says, the common enemy of humanity is mankind. In searching for a new enemy. Now notice they're even admitting in this that they just kind of looked for a PR created thing. In searching for a new enemy to unite humanity. It's telling you it's a scam. We came up with an idea. So they didn't discover this in the science. They came up with an idea, a psychological warfare PR idea. Pollution, global warming, water shortages, and famine would fit the bill to prove that man is the enemy. That's Malthusianism. Now, people don't even know what Malthusianism is. What's Malthusianism? What is that? Are y'all just so lazy you can't look up a freaking word? Yes, the answer is yes. They are that lazy. Now, it gets even better because not only did we get this excellent bunch of nonsense from Leo, blessing the ice cubes, blessing time for Vanilla Ice to make a comeback. We got our favorite Illuminate confirm. The Illuminate confirm. The Ice Cube. We got the Ice War. This is the Ice War. Peter Parker.
We have to communicate the right way. When we started our mom.
Actually, I'm making jokes, but Arnold is actually in this clip telling you a big point. This is actually a huge deal. Ice to see you. This is actually how all the propaganda works, and Arnold actually tells everybody this in this clip. It's kind of surprising, actually. I guess they don't care anymore. It's out in the open. What Arnold's basically just going to say, we could never convince people of climate change until we made a pull the heartstrings video of a child in a gas mask who couldn't breathe. That's what convinced everybody. So nothing to do with logic, science, facts, reasoning, literally just PR and propaganda. Remember Dusty Boy? Syrian Dusty Boy?
Movement in California, when I became governor, people were not behind us. I said to myself, why is that? We're talking about climate change. 20% of the people said, Yeah, this is kind of
Get to the
dangerous.
climate. Get to the
More
climate.
than 50%, right, to get anything done. So we talked then about the rising sea level. Nothing, the needle didn't move. We talked about the glaciers melting, the ice is melting, the polar bear is in danger. No matter
He's
what
listing
we
all the
said,
cons.
it didn't move the needle.
Look at all the Cardinals there listening to this bullshit.
Nothing happened. But then the American Lung Association sent us a television commercial.
Come on now, don't do this.
Little commercial that showed a kid, a little tiny kid, trying to inhale almost was impossible, and then this child faded. We don't know what happened. Did it die? Did it pass out? Or whatever. That little spot we put right away on television. And all of a sudden, everyone got interested, and we had...
By the way, this has a curious parallel with Total Recall, right? Cohagen! Fuck you, Cohagen! Give the people the air! Give the people the air!
62% of the people behind us
62% of the
environmental
people!
laws, and that's how we were able to succeed pass all of those environmental laws.
With a bunch of the propaganda, the Peter Parker! So, basically, you just make heartstring propaganda and dum-dums fall for it because it bypasses their logical reasoning faculties and tugs on their heartstrings, and this is how you mind control people. Now, I didn't expect Tom Woods to reply to me. I don't think Tom Woods has ever replied to me. Not that I'm concerned about it. I don't have any problem with Tom Woods on any personal level. I met him many years ago at a Latin Mass chapel. I visited the chapel where, I don't know if he attends still, but I was there with a friend, and I looked over, and there was Tom Woods at the Latin Mass many, many, many years ago. This is a long time ago. So, I've listened to Tom Woods for many, many years. I read his book on the housing collapse. I thought that was a good insight. He helped explain the principles behind the housing collapse, which I didn't really understand. It was a helpful economic book many years ago. However, Tom Woods, as you guys know, is still Roman Catholic, still a trad cat. I don't understand what keeps people trad cats, but this was an interesting reply to my comment about... To me, it seems like this should be obvious. I'm not trying to be rude to Tom Woods, but I mean, I've been saying for many, many years, the papacy is subjected to and takes orders from international organizations, international finance, globalist institutions, etc. And yes, of course, Bartholomew is just as bad. And Tom Woods replied, why would the papacy need to, quote, take orders when there are already obviously in ideological alignment? And I said, well, the same reason why the Rothschilds centuries ago became the official papal bankers. The Rothschilds gave many loans to the Holy See over the last few centuries. The same reason why the Vatican Bank was bailed out and bought out in Gladio. That's covered in an entire chapter in the Paul Williams book. Underneath this, of course, people were challenging, oh, where did the Vatican ever get bought out? The Vatican Bank was never bought out. The funny thing was that somebody asked Grok to verify all of my claims, and Grok admitted them all except for the Vatican Bank buyout by the Rockefellers, which is in the Paul Williams book, by the way. So that was the funny part was that Grok actually confirmed all these. That the CIA was involved in the papal conclaves, and Kissinger regularly met with Paul VI throughout the Cold War, and that there is PDF blackmail of the Vatican, which even Benedict XVI hinted at before he, quote, stepped down. So really nothing that I mentioned was controversial. And I kind of agree that, yeah, probably Tom Woods is right in the sense that it's not like they have to twist Leo's arms too hard to do what they want, because he is in ideological alignment, as was Francis. But what Tom Woods and all the trads miss is that they're in ideological alignment because Vatican II is in ideological alignment with the globalists and the international financial interests, Tom. That's the point. And we know that from Gaudium et Spes, which I just lectured through multiple times last week. We did 2 different videos referencing and citing Gaudium et Spes. In fact, Other people were pointing out things I missed, like chain migration promoted in Gaudium et Spes. I didn't even realize that was in there. Shout out to the people in the super chats who noticed it. And if you don't know that, go watch my video that Marxism, socialism is the teaching of Vatican II's Gaudium et Spes document. Of course, you tell that to a tradcat. It doesn't matter. You hand wave and say, it doesn't apply to me. I don't have to follow it. It's an ecumenical freaking council confirmed by the papacy. All the documents are for the entire church, and all the documents deal with faith and morals. There's no Roman Catholic church in the world that you go to when you're catechized where they allow you or tell you don't have to believe Vatican II. They all tell you have to believe Vatican II. So they just come up with these myths. They just create tradcat myths that you don't have to follow or believe Vatican II, or, oh, this document isn't infallible. It's just literally just made up. I ad hoc make it up on the spot. Oh, I don't have to follow this one. It doesn't count. Where do you get the authority to decide which documents approved by Rome for the entire church don't count? It's utterly ridiculous. They're as bad as or worse than Protestants. And yes, the Holy See has received and taken many sizable loans from the Rothschilds. And there's an entire Wikipedia entry on it. Why are you citing Wikipedia? Just because it's not controversial. It's the only reason I'm citing Wikipedia. There's one more point. The other point I wanted to get to was the people are up in arms today and sort of shocked that this obviously not heterosexual woman has been elected the arch layman of Canterbury, and they can't believe that a layman is a woman is the arch layman of Canterbury. But are they not aware that a woman has been the head of their church for several decades? Did you not know that the official head of the church was the Queen of England? So you already had a woman as the head of the organization who's even higher than the Archbishop of Canterbury. So it's like, duh. You didn't even know this? And by the way, did you not know that the two or three back was a Druid? Yes, the Archbishop of Canterbury was a Druid. And that is still in the BBC. Archbishop of Canterbury becomes a Druid. Now, if this doesn't show you that this is an absolute clown church, nothing will. But I mean, the world of Christianity is just, sometimes we have to say, I can understand why people are atheists. I'm not atheist. I don't mean that the logic itself. I'm talking about the absurdity and the clown world of Christianity out there is so preposterous and so ridiculous, so cartoonish. Whether it's megachurches, whether it's the papacy, or whether it's this. How, in anyone's mind, could you be a Druid and be a Christian archbishop? It's so preposterous that, yeah, why not? Right? It's like the more preposterous, the more it makes sense. Yes, absolutely. Bathed in trad. Well, I guess Druids are ancient. Everything ancient is bathed in trad. Why not? Well, they did human sacrifice. Well, so what? Let's just have the Amazonian rite. Remember Pachamama? Francis was going to, did he create an Amazon indigenous liturgy? Well, let's just have the Thuggee rite. Molaram. The Pope will be Molaram, and the Roman Catholics will be, oh, no, it's the bathed trad Thuggee rite liturgy. And because it's ancient Hindi, it's actually bathed in trad. Yeah, it's human sacrifice, but it's bathed in trad because it's old, though. And like when you chant like Mola Ram, it sounds pretty cool when you chant like that. Kali Ma Shakti De. Kali Ma protects us. We are her children. Indy. Oh, Indy. The Rothschild protects us. We are their children.